Hello everybody, this is Kyrix with Let's Play XCOM, the Ironman run. This is being done in post-commentary because I'm an idiot who forgot to turn my microphone on again. So, little reminder for those of you who are just tuning in or who may have forgotten. An Ironman run means that I have activated Ironman mode, which means that all of my saves are final. If I go to save, it logs me out so that I can't exploit my saves. Anyway, when last we left off, I had shot down a large scout, and now we're going to pick it up. Now, I realize that I have been dragging out this thing quite a bit, but we are... Well, first off,
the next deployment site is in the UK.
Operation Spectral Engine.
It looks like the aliens went down in a sparsely populated area. If there are civilians in the area, I hope they stay clear.
Now, he keeps bringing that up, but I don't think I've ever, in my entire time of playing this, I don't think I've ever had a UFO set down anywhere other than the woods, or crash anywhere other than the woods. I don't even know if it's possible for it to land or crash in a city. But, I realize I've been dragging this game out for quite a bit. And rest assured, this will be the last video of that, because by the end of this video I've gotten pretty much all the research done, so I have all the things I need.
Just as before, we're seeing a gradual progression in the development of the alien subjects. That heavy armor looks to be near impenetrable.
As if the first mutons weren't bad enough. Now they're covering them in armor plating.
Now, I want to point out, my snipers are only using pistols. This should give you an idea of just how much we've progressed since the start. That our weapons, especially with our weapons, how good these plasmas really are, you know. I mean, look at that. 2 pistol shots to almost kill that guy.
Okay.
But the bulk of the research and all that is done at this point. So all I really have left to do is get the story out of the way. I do have to level up a couple more rookies so that I make sure that I have enough... I don't want to spoil it, but there's a certain thing that I can set up, and it works better if I've promoted, because they get higher will stats, and the will stats gonna matter. So it actually ties into what's gonna happen in the next episode when I finally hit the alien's base.
Okay.
It won't be what I start with, and I might only do one other mission besides that, but I will be doing it. I will be going... God, I love when they pull those out. But I will be doing the alien base in the next episode. And remember how I talked about with the Archangel snipers? How, oh, the enemies never look up, they don't look up, etc. They never shoot up. Remember that, because that's going to be important in about a minute. I want to remind you, aliens do not shoot up. I want to repeat that. They never look up. Except when they do. Yep. Totally don't shoot up at all. Nope, not in the slightest. Plasma makes friggin' mutons a joke. Even the elite mutons, which is what these are. Plus, the Titan armor isn't hurting either, the fact that I can shrug off what would normally be a lethal hit. You know? If I were still using the body armor from the beginning of the game, I'd be dead. Friggin', what's-her-name, Claymore would have died. Flat out. I was kind of hoping to pull off in the zone there, but I didn't.
Yes, Commander.
Now, just because I've finished the bulk of the research, don't think research is behind me yet. There's still a lot of things left in the game that I can build and make, and I will. But by the end of this video here, all but I think one thing that I could actually make or research is done. And the one thing I can research still is something I don't need. It's plasma cannons for the ship.
Stepping off.
Moving to designated coordinates.
Anyway, the the plasma cannons are something I don't need because I already have the best possible weapon for all my ships at this point. So, the plasma cannons being a ship-mounted weapon, not a normal one.
Aye, aye. Let's rock.
Overwatch. Aye, aye.
Now, the real trick here is the fact that snipers are not the best thing for UFOs because
Alone out here.
the end of the battle always takes place inside, and it's very, very difficult to line up a shot with a sniper so that they can see inside.
On the move. Overwatch. Aye, aye.
Got it. Moving.
If my commentary is somewhat lacking in this episode, and I know that it is, it's because, like I said,
Affirmative. Moving out.
I forgot to do the microphone, and this is being done in post, and I hate post-production commentary because I'm not in the moment anymore,
On the move.
and I don't know if I brought this up, but I have a very bad short-term memory. So,
Got my eyes on.
for example, I could have just finished doing this. I didn't. I did this about an hour and a half ago. No, about 2 hours ago. But even if I just recorded this, I'd have already forgotten everything I did, with maybe one or two key exceptions, before I did this, you know? I mean, I do not generally retain memory, especially when I'm recording, because why do I need to remember something that's been recorded? And even if I had remembered all my commentary, it's just not the same the second time through.
Got it.
The good news is, because I have such a faulty memory, even though I'm not in the moment anymore and I can't tell you what my thought processes are, I can still react as though it's new. Fortunately, this happened on XCOM and not on Walking Dead, because if I had had to do a post-commentary Walking Dead, that would have absolutely destroyed the blind run aspect of that. So, I need to be extra careful when I'm doing that.
10-4.
I feel, Commander.
What the hell was that?
Aye, aye, Commander.
Also, my commentary might suffer a bit because I happen to be eating.
That sound.
That little noise you heard
Okay.
was the phone. I cut the mic. Basically, I take care of my mother, and she couldn't finish what she was eating, so I have leftovers. You know?
Already there.
And, yeah. Now, you'll notice that up until now, all I've run into is the mutons. Normally at this stage, there isn't a whole lot left in the ship. Well, if I remember correctly, this ship has a couple surprises in store for me, and they're about to hit any second now.
Overwatch.
It's one of the ships in this video, and I think it's this one in particular. But it's just something that comes completely out of left field, something I was absolutely not expecting. Because at this point I'm thinking, hey, maybe I lucked out. Maybe it's just the outsider and that's all that's left.
Roger, Dodger.
Well, that is not the case.
Enemy in sight.
Okay, this isn't the one, but still. Having a trio of Thin Man pop up was not... Get out of my bowl! Was not on my list of expectations for this mission. The cat's after my ramen.
I feel, Commander.
I'm trying to get them both, but it's not going to happen, so...
Roger
That's
that.
what all the indecision is. As you can see, I opted to get closer. Now, I think it was on this UFO... No, you can't have any! I think it was on this particular UFO that I noticed that Spike was carrying the alien grenade that I was looking for earlier. You may recall that from a previous video that I unlocked the ability to get alien grenades in the foundry, but I couldn't figure out where they went. I thought that I might have accidentally used them already, but I didn't. Spike has them.
They're falling back.
And he's had them this entire time.
Moving to position.
And I know eating during a Let's Play is not the most professional thing,
Enemy in sight.
and strange as it seems to me, some people are even disgusted by it, but if this gets cold, it gets bad and it gets thrown out. And
They got me flanked.
if I were to stop, I'd have to do this whole video over again.
Just happened.
So it's easier to just take a couple moments, eat it real quick, and get on with my presentation.
I'm on the move. Out of rounds.
Another day. another
Short,
successful
sweet, by the
operation.
book. Just how I like it. But yeah, I get quite a bit done in the foundry as well. Basically, this is my episode for tying up loose ends. And I do a pretty good job, I think. You know? I've been a little displeased with some of my performances in some missions and some episodes, even, where it just dragged on and I didn't catch a break. This is not one of those episodes. I'm very pleased with how this turned out in general. And we land the Sky Ranger again. I'm impressed with myself. I've been pretty good about not skipping these cutscenes. Alright, Claymore's out for 3 days, and at the rate I've been getting UFOs, that's nothing. By the time the next one shows up, she's going to be good to go. Just like always. Now, to get my grenades away... Yeah, it was last UFO. To get my grenades off of Spike. Now, what this is going to do... And I opt to get the Shiv Plasma as well. Which upgrades my Shiv weaponry to Plasma. Now, what this does, when this is complete... All of my troops will have unlimited access to alien grenades. So that'll be their standard loadout. Instead of a frag, they'll get an alien grenade. Alien grenades, I think, have a wider dispersal range, meaning they have a bigger area of effect. And I know for a fact they hit harder. So, even if they just hit harder, that's still worth it. But I think they also have a slightly higher burst radius. And this right here is the Firestorm. It is a gorgeous little ship. It's a beautiful fighter craft that lets us fight the aliens on their own level. Now, when properly outfitted, This is the most devastating thing in the sky. Nothing the aliens have can touch this. Now, note that I said when properly outfitted. A Phoenix cannon is not being properly outfitted.
I think we just leveled the playing field.
Yes. Yes, we did. Sadly, this firestorm, Demon 1, is not going to have a good first showing. I'm going to tell you that right now. The next UFO that pops out is going to be a little too big for my poor little ship to handle. I forget what I was looking for there. Oh, I know what I was looking for. I was looking for the EMP cannon. I didn't realize that I had not researched it yet. Here I am doing transfers. Because I have to in order to build more. Now, what I like about this, as opposed to the original XCOM, is the fact that I don't have to build multiple bases. For example, in the original XCOM, if I wanted to post firestorms or lightnings or whatever in this area, I would have to build a base. That base would need a hangar. It would need a barracks to defend itself. It would need cannons. It would need all sorts of stuff. And it would just cost such a ton of money to do. You know? And it just, in the end, it'd be a huge headache. In this, I can put hangars anywhere, but I only have the one base in Africa, and that suits me just fine.
Incoming transmission.
We are extremely impressed with the progress of the XCOM project thus far, Commander.
Now, if you notice, my panic levels are all nice and low, and they're going to stay that way because now that I have satellites in orbit of every country except South America, and my mind is still blown that I've only lost 2 countries, on an Ironman run, and a run where I can't go back and correct my mistakes, and I haven't made that many. I mean, let's face facts, my missions could go a lot better than they have, but planning-wise, I've been doing really good. You know, getting plasma weapons early probably helped with that. I completely skipped laser weaponry altogether. But,
I appreciate your efforts to support the research team, Commander. I've already put the new recruits to work in the lab.
here's where I'm going to start doing my interrogations and my autopsies. This is going to be the bulk of the next 5 minutes, is just interrogations and autopsies. This is the Muton. But anyway, lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, the thing with the satellites is they will flat out stop alien abductions. I mean, I had that little glitch, well, not really a glitch, where I got an abduction mission right as I had lost the last couple satellites, but that was just because they hadn't attained orbit yet, you know? They were on the way, but they weren't in position yet. But now that I can't get alien abduction missions, there's not going to be... I'm not going to have to choose. Whenever a UFO hits, or lands, or a terror mission happens, I just go. It's not going to be, well, you can go to Mexico, or you can go to India. No. I can go to Mexico, and then the next time when one lands in India, I can go there. So that's what ramps it up, is the abduction missions. Those, by the way, are for the assault and sniper, respectively, though. The laser sniper rifle kind of gave that away.
Transfer complete.
These are obviously for my heavies. It also allows me to have laser shivs, which I have plasma shivs, so why would I bother with laser shivs?
We've made a number of interesting discoveries based on the autopsy results of the alien specimen you brought back. The research team is now referring to this particular variation as a sectoid, based on the unusual structure of its internal organs, which we believe to be the product of genetic manipulation. As we've seen in the field, this species also seems to harbor some sort of telepathic ability.
Now, doing autopsies unlocks... I was thinking it was like interrogations, where when you do an interrogation, it unlocks credits. Autopsies actually unlock real advances. Most of them aren't great, and most of them are Foundry stuff, but they're advances nonetheless. And if I had remembered that, I would have done the autopsies much sooner. But I'm not perfect, and we've already established my memory's garbage. Now, seeing as how it's the best I have to work with, I've outfitted my demons with Phoenix cannons, but that's not going to be the thing. See, this is a targeting thing that I can do for my ships.
Although I'm sure you can make the connection yourself, we've designated this particular specimen as a floater. The research team is continuing in its efforts to determine how the aliens prevented the organic tissue from rejecting the mechanical components, as they seem to work in perfect harmony with one another.
Now, I don't use those little consumable one-time use ship buffs. I don't need them. You know? Chances are, if it's something I need to get buffed against, it's something I have no business going after in the first place.
The tall one has, up until this point, been unofficially referred to as the Thin Man. Initial testing has revealed a concerted effort by the aliens to modify this specimen's genetic structure in such a way as to make it appear human. However, on closer inspection, they seem to have had some trouble concealing the eyes, which appear to be reptilian in nature.
But now that I have my my firestorms, and by the end of this I'll have EMP cannons as well. Once I have all that set up, I won't need buffs, because I can take down even warships without getting killed. Now, I don't currently have the materials.
This is the most physically aggressive specimen we've discovered so far, which the troops fondly refer to as the Muton. I can only assume there's a colorful backstory for such a designation.
But, I don't think I have the materials to make those super med kits yet. Yeah, I don't have the delirium for it. I'm pretty sure I go back and do it. If not, I'll probably check in the next video. They want some floater corpses, so... Ow! Bad kitty! So they can have them, because anytime they ask for something, they'll give you more money than it's worth. Which is awesome. Like, I think I gave them, what, 5 corpses and got like $80 for it or something? Or whatever I got. Either way, it was a ridiculous amount. Don't have enough for that either yet. Ow. Kitty. Thank you.
Based on what we've seen in the field so far, including several grotesque examples of trauma resulting from the emergence of its young, we've taken to calling this specimen a chrysalid.
Now, autopsying chrysalids gives me a certain melee armor. I will never use it. I'll probably never even make them unless they're requested, because they're garbage. It only really protects me from melee, I think.
Commander, you should take
And let's be perfectly honest, there are only 2 melee units in the entire game. The Berserker and the Chrysalid. Chrysalids at this point in the game are no longer dangerous to me unless multiples get the jump on me. And Berserkers, again, unless they get the drop on me and they're right in my face and I'm already hurt, they're not dangerous either, because I can just kite them back and forth between my troops until they drop dead. And there's no guarantee on any mission that I'm going to run into them, so why would I bother with melee plating when I might not even run into them? I mean, yes, there is a health boost either way, but it's still not worth it. I mean, I'd be better using the nano armor. Or the, yeah. Yeah, I'm going to lose this fight, period. Look at this. This is... yeah. Fortunately, I get out of there before it blows up the thing. The good news is it repairs fast, so there is that. I'm kind of annoying my kitty right now. What? Quit biting me. I'm being nice to you. I'm being nice now. Just let me pet you. Okay? Poor kitty. I love her comment on the cyber disc. At this point, actually, in the commentaries where I was describing the melee armor, I'm guessing, because of how quiet I'm being there. But I love her commentary on the cyber disk as to why we've never gotten a live specimen.
We've yet to recover one of these in functional condition from the field. The men seem to enjoy using them for target practice. At the present time, we know that the cyber disk, as they've been calling it, is heavily armed, but it shows no clear pattern of behavior on the battlefield.
Now, when I first played this and got the Archangel armor, I equated it with the floating armor, or the flying armor of the first game, and they're not the same thing, because the flying armor in the first game had unlimited flight. Up until I started using snipers, I didn't use Archangel at all, because the Titan had better armor, and I didn't want limited flight. I wanted full flight, or none at all.
The men are calling this beast the Berserker, although it shares the same structure as the Muton. For reasons yet unknown to us, the Berserker seems to be consumed by bloodlust with little regard for its own safety.
Now, there's another kind of armor that after I take the base I can get called the Ghost Armor. That will be the last major outfit that I will have, and Ghost Armor will go on my supporters to give them extra movement. I'll probably keep the Titan on my assaulters,
Another
though.
variation on a previously identified specimen, this is the Heavy Floater. As you can see, the aliens have made substantial improvements to the armor and weapons systems available, while removing some of its exposed vulnerabilities. An extremely dangerous combatant.
Now, my assaulters get a bonus from heavy armor, so on the one hand I could give them the Titan, or I could put them in Ghost Armor and make them faster. I'm probably going to stick with the Titan.
Standard Muton hadn't given us enough trouble, the aliens apparently kept several of these elites in waiting for the later stages of their invasion.
But the difference between Ghost and Titan armor is 4 extra health. And on top of that, they'll get another 4 health for being in the Titan armor. So, yeah. That'll make them so much tougher. I'll give them a bonus of 14 health.
This
You know?
unit appears to be a drone, which is similar to the military drones we are familiar with. This particular example seems to have the ability to repair damaged equipment. Dr. Shen and I believe it should be possible to capture and repurpose these for our own use in the field.
Maybe it's
This heavily armored unit is fully mechanized, though we're still not sure if it has an organic component within.
And I think that wraps the last of the autopsies. Anyway, by next video I will have EMP cannons on all of my demons. And that is the kicker. That's one of the last milestones I'm waiting for, is to have firestorms on every continent with EMP cannons, so that when the big heavy ships start coming, and they will after I hit that base, I can take them.
Contact detected.
This is the ship that had a little surprise in store for me. Now, watch what happens when this thing shoots me. And compare the Firestorm to the Interceptor on how much damage this thing takes. This thing is so just devastating.
Enemy is padlocked. Hearing strike.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 hits, not a scrap of damage on that thing. I don't even think they chipped the paint. Now, if you notice, everyone's now rocking alien grenades. I'm slapping arc throwers on my supporters. That will become important later. Everyone's already got the alien grenades. That's what I wanted to check on.
dropship has arrived.
Get ready to deploy. Our AO is within the continental United States.
Operation
Looks like the aliens
Enduring
went down in a
Drone.
sparsely populated area. If there are civilians in the area, I hope they stay clear.
This is the UFO that had a little surprise that I wasn't expecting. And boy, was I surprised. This came completely out of left field. This is a large scout, but still, it's a scout ship. So you'd expect a relatively small and light crew complement. You'd expect that. You'd be wrong, but you'd expect it. Oh, boy.
Central, this is Big Sky. Strike 1 is ready to secure the craft.
Copy, Big Sky. Strike 1 is clear to attempt the breach.
Now, when I finally hit the alien base, which again will happen next video, I will most likely be rocking full sets of Titan armor because I don't expect to have a lot of vertical mobility in the base. And I would rather have the extra health on my sniper, if that's the case. I might even leave them behind, to be perfectly honest, in favor of other units.
Got my eyes on.
Copy that.
I seem to recall all the action in here taking place inside the UFO. I also made the comment that if it were me, I would basically be in the UFO and snap an Overwatch, and anything that opens the door would be dead. Though I would be counting on the fact that they want to recover all the supplies and wouldn't use explosives. Yeah, things go nice and quietly up until a point. I think I also made mention of the fact that aliens rarely use doors in this game. Whereas the original one, when I would prepare to breach a ship, you note how I always have one guy on either side of the door? In the original XCOM, the doors were only the size of one person, so I'd have one person on either side and one person standing in front of the door to breach. It was not even slightly unusual to have an alien, during their turn, open the door and kill all three people and then just calmly walk back into the UFO. Or at least to try to do that, you know?
Got it. Moving.
If nothing else, they would at least kill one of the three people.
Overwatch. Aye, aye.
Roger. Got my eyes on.
But in this, they don't really tend to use doors, and they can, but they just don't. I don't know if it's in their AI or what, but they just don't like doors. They don't like using them, which is fine by me, because that means that I have all the time in the world to prepare as long as I don't open the door.
There's something out there.
Now, this is me thinking, oh, I've got lucky this time. There's just an outsider. There's nothing to worry about, you know?
Running.
What you want, kitty? Oh, I see. You just want to chew on me. Okay, fine.
Moving out.
Get it out of your system. Quit clawing me. Either bite me or claw me, but don't do both. And now I got your head. Oh, God. No. Come here. Nope, that's too rough. You're going in your box. Actually, no. You're coming here. Okay. Exhibit A. Heavy floaters. Miss?
Missed.
And miss.
Shot failed to connect.
They're trying to flank us.
Okay, heavy floaters. So far, so good. Not unusual even for a scout ship, right? Right. I love her double tap ability.
Adjusting aim.
I actually think it was a mistake to give him in the zone because he rarely gets to use it. Whereas double tap always works as long as you didn't do the thing.
Yes, sir. Heading out.
Again, this whole thing comes completely out of left field.
Heading to that location. Enemy troops.
Exhibit B. A, outsider. Perfectly normal. So far, so good, right?
Let's do this.
No problems.
Hostile spotted.
Exhibit C. A cyber disc.
They're flanking my position.
And Exhibit D. Muton elites. Yeah.
Cover my flank.
At this point, I'm in panic mode because that's a little too much heavy firepower in my face at once. Okay, maybe panic mode is the wrong thing, but I'm definitely on high alert at this point. Because I'm worried I'm going to lose a soldier. I'm not worried about the mission. I've got this. I know I've got this. But I don't like losing troops because these are all colonels. These are all high-ranking, maxed-out soldiers. And these are kind of hard to come by. I have a lot of work invested in all of these people, and I don't want to lose any of them. You know? That's the problem with giving them call signs. When they're just names, you can forget who they are. The minute you give them call signs, which are easily remembered nicknames, you really get attached to the characters.
Heading to that location.
Nope, you're being bad. You're not going anywhere.
I'll get him next.
Don't worry, didn't need that. Nope, no sorry.
Heading to that location. X-ray neutralized.
So in this case, I opt to just get the hell out of there.
Move. On Overwatch.
Because otherwise these people are dead. They're just flat out freaking dead. And I don't want my people to be dead. I want them to be alive. Now remember, at this point there's still a cyber disk at large. Keep that in mind, that's going to be important in a minute. Also, he barely got scratched. Or no, I'm thinking of a later thing, but still.
Got no ammo.
I love the fact that friendly fire is almost non-existent in this game. It's possible, but it's exceedingly rare to pull off.
No rounds.
Yeah, I was trying to switch to a pistol, and I forgot heavies don't get pistols. They get rocket launchers.
Stepping off.
They also get an upgraded type, but I'm a ways off from that yet, so...
Good copy. Moving on target.
Now this is me not paying attention. I meant to walk, instead he dashed. Remember the cyber disc? Now I have two choices here. I can stun the muton, or I can revive him. I choose to stun the muton.
Sleep tight. Looks like you're coming home with us.
Ready to rock.
That's enough. Okay.
Moving to position.
Now, remember how much trouble I used to have with cyber discs? Check this out.
He's down.
1 round of heat ammo with heavy plasma is all it took to drop that thing. And Operation Enduring Crone is a total success. And kitty. Now, we have Padre hurt pretty bad.
Capturing the alien subjects alive allows for a much wider range of experimentation versus the expired specimens.
But I wouldn't worry, because again, alien attacks are infrequent, and by the time it comes up, it won't be an issue anymore. And there's my EMP cannons. Remember what I said about alien attacks being infrequent? I literally just said it. Ugh.
We have visual on the mission site. Setting down.
We'll be deploying to Russia for this one. We've gotten reports of alien
Operation
activity
Demon Grave. I really like the name of this one.
We should move to secure the area and minimize...
Of all the terror ops I've done, I have to say this is probably one of my favorites so far. Now, of course, first order of business is to get my angels in the air.
To engage hostile targets. Watch your fire out there.
Now, at this point, I was having issues with my controller.
Civilians are in the AO.
The R2 button was sticking. Or not sticking, but it wasn't registering, and I actually had to smack it against something to get it to work.
Roger. I've got my eyes on.
I was going to move, but instead I opted to go into Overwatch with a pistol so that I could at least have the opportunity to shoot should the need arise. That will be a very important decision in a couple of minutes.
Here they come.
Now, remember what I said about chrysalids not being a threat anymore? One shot. Two shots. Pistol. Took down a chrysalid with a pistol. Two shots.
Heading to that location.
Melee armor's a waste. That's all I'm saying. Chrysalids are no longer a threat to me. Now, there were points in the beginning of this game, before I got good ranks, before I had Titan armor, where chrysalids were a really big deal. But, that time it's not a thing anymore. It doesn't matter. They're a joke now.
Moving out.
You know, I think I've decided how I want to end this Let's Play. Hopefully it'll end on a successful note, but again, this is an Ironman thing, and it is possible to lock yourself out of the ability to win. If that happens, well, then this will be even more appropriate, but at least I think it's possible. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do, at the very end of this, a montage of every single soldier of mine that died. And probably with their name and what killed them, you know? And if it's possible to retrieve their records, I will probably do that as well.
Go. You're safe. Go.
And say, okay, this person was on this thing, etc., you know? I think that'd be a cool way to end the Let's Play. But we're getting ahead of ourselves. We're quite a ways from being able to do that.
Roger. I've got my eyes on you.
I'm on it.
Target confirmed. On our way. Get out of here. I don't think we're alone out here. Enemies in sight.
Missed the target.
And here we have some floaters again, or... yeah, heavy floaters, rather. I'm trying to get in the zone here, but I don't meet the requirements. I keep forgetting that for in the zone to work, they can't be in cover.
Hostiles pacified.
Basically, I keep using the wrong sniper at the wrong time.
Nice.
Now, at this point I'm feeling kind of cocky because I've already killed 2 chrysalids, and up until now there's only been 2 chrysalids per mission unless they hatched more. If you'll note with my death counter, they haven't had time to hatch more.
Move out.
Matter of fact, the very first thing I killed was the 2 chrysalids, so they definitely didn't have time to hatch more chrysalids. Turns out there's more chrysalids than 2. There's 4 in this mission. That's not what sets me into panic mode. There's another thing in here that I did not expect. And it's gonna... I'm not gonna take its presence very well. Let's just leave it at that.
Double time.
It's something that I'm not happy to see.
I got you. You're safe. Orders confirmed. Moving out.
Oh wow, I didn't see the one in the corner at all. Matter of fact, I think that's one that I don't rescue. He doesn't die, but I don't even think I notice him.
There's something out there.
Oh, nope, I saw him. Never mind.
You're safe. Now get moving.
This is me trying to rescue two and failing at it.
Aye, aye, Commander. Get out of here.
Now, rescuing civilians, believe it or not, can be a double-edged sword. On the one hand, it preserves your ranking, which, let's be honest, it doesn't really affect as much, you know?
I'm rolling.
I don't think they care what your ranking is. There it is, the sectopod. This is what scares the crap out of me, because this is not something to be taken lightly. But anyway, I don't think your ranking actually affects anything, other than your trophies and stuff. But it does allow you to get a better ranking on your mission if that matters to you. And also, the bad part, the part that makes it a double-edged sword, is it also removes all the civilians that the aliens might otherwise shoot, because a lot of them prioritize civilians over soldiers.
10-4.
I mean, how many times just in this Let's Play alone
Get out of here.
have I been dead to rights and they opted to kill a civilian instead of me? You know, it happens all the time.
I'm on it, Commander.
And that's me getting the hell out of that sectopod's line of sight, because it scares me. And if you'd seen what a sectopod can do, it would scare you as well. Even with Titan armor, I'm not necessarily safe. I don't know where those two came from, by the way. They're just there.
Oh, missed the target.
I'm sorry, there's 5 here, because there's another one on the roof that I forgot about.
No longer a threat.
Now, I have a really inventive way of getting rid of these two chrysalids at the same time. I'm actually rather pleased with this solution. It's not particularly amazing, it's pretty easy, but I still think it's kind of clever.
Yes, Commander.
As well as being just risky enough to be awesome.
I feel, Commander.
Start off with a rocket. At point-blank range, I might add. To soften them both up quite a bit.
Roger, track.
And follow up with one of my brand new alien grenades. Ta-da! 2 dead chrysalids. Boom. And the threat is neutralized.
Roger that.
And there was much rejoicing. Here's why I'm terrified of sectopods. Need I say more? There's a reason I'm scared of these things. That's the reason. That being said, they also have a little wussy attack as well. But when they go into that mode and just open up like that, bad things happen for all involved.
Target. Cover the flanks.
By the way, that house is absolutely blown to crap because of my rockets. And under normal circumstances, I would be very vulnerable to the fire. But Titan armor. I'm trying desperately to get my snipers in a position where they can actually be of help. Though I know the odds are pretty much against me at this point of getting line with them. I'm ignoring the drones because I'm thinking that there's a way to get them all at once, and there is. It involves another rocket. Why waste shots on drones when a rocket clears them all?
Okay.
But yeah, as you can see, a well-placed rocket takes care of just about everything.
Moving.
I'm a little confused here as to why I couldn't see it at the time, until I moved into place. Now, this is a calculated risk. To double tap this thing with rapid shot, and hope that I kill it. Because if I don't, I'm dead. Fortunately, I do. And that is a perfect terror mission. I only lost, what, 3 civilians? And since I got excellence in all 3 fields, I'm going to get a trophy. As seen right now. As a scalpel. Basically, you gotta get a perfect rating on your terror mission. Excellent, excellent, excellent. And I did. So, yeah. So, yeah, as you can see, I'm very pleased with how this whole set of missions turned out. And did I remember to name the operation there? Oh yeah, Operation Demon Grave.
Let's hope all of these operations go as smoothly as this one did.
And here's me commenting on Claymore, 43 kills, Thunder, 40 kills, Omega, 32 kills, Spike, 36, Ouija, 31, and Disco, 17. But Disco's just a substitute, so there's that. Also, only 2 heavy floaters. There was no infantry, it was all friggin' mechs. It was all mechs and terror units. Remember, we will be watching, I know. And in this case, I opt to send the alloys because I have so many. And a little money never hurts. A little extra money never hurts. So at this point, I opt to finish up and get my EMP cannons and arm everything. Now, I opted for this research in lieu of the others because I want to make sure that I have all the Illyrium I need to get my EMP cannon and the last 2 Firestorms made. Because if I don't, then I'm going to be underarmed or underprepared, and I don't want to be underprepared. That's the whole point of taking all this time, is to not take risk. This is an Ironman run. I have to do this, you know? Anyway, with the advent of my EMP cannons, I can now take down any ship in the game. And the best part is, not only do these EMP cannons hit like a truck, but on top of everything else, I was going to put one on Raven, but I didn't want to. But on top of everything else, they also preserve the UFO systems. So I have a lot more parts left over that I can collect, and that makes me very, very happy. Because more parts generally means more alloy and more Illyrium. Alloys... No, I can't make alloys in this game. I'm about to say, alloys I can make. No, alloys I can make in the first one. I can't make alloys in this, but I don't use them as much. But Illyrium, everything in the end game runs on Illyrium. It's vital that you get it, you know? Alloy cannon. For a long time I didn't know what this was, so I opted out of it. I opted out of making them. Alloy cannon is the final level of shotgun, you know? And I don't have the Illyrium for it, so... I also don't have it for that final thing. So I think what I do is I get to the council report and I just end it here.
Incoming transmission.
Excellent
Now,
work,
you know
Commander.
that UFO that I let get away?
To see our
That
continuous
ended up
improvements
screwing me over in the long run.
worthwhile. We hope that your current successes only mark the beginning of an enduring effort to eliminate the extraterrestrial threat. We will be in touch, Commander.
Anyway, that just about does it for all of this. I'm going to go into the situation room real quick,
Our engineering team has managed
because
to
I
create
think
billions
that's
of
where
dollars
the
in additional aerospace
memorial
development
wall
in a
is. It's
single
not. So, what I wanted to do is I wanted to, before I sign off, to show off the memorial wall and reminisce about my soldiers. These are basically done in order of mission superiority. Ones with higher missions are at the top of the list, ones who are only on one are on the bottom. Kind of makes me sad to see 3 people on here with 0 kills, because they didn't even get a chance. But Smokes I remember, Tectonic I remember, Dice I remember, Wild Child I remember a little bit, and Odin almost not at all. But, those poor 4 at the bottom who died on their very first op. One of them, that one, the second one on the list down, gave as good as they got, though. Anyway, I'm Kyrix, and this is Let's Play XCOM, the Iron Man run, and I will see you next week. Goodbye.